Welcome back. 2007 Saturn Vue. It's got the 3.5 Honda engine in it. It's overdue for a timing belt by about 5,000 miles. And I just had to put an alternator in this, and I noticed that putting an alternator in, I heard a chirping, like a pulley chirp from inside the cover. So one of these pulleys is getting ready to go, and it is due. So we're going to do a timing belt on this timing belt service and get this thing straightened out so it doesn't have any problem, because you do not want the belt in this to go, because if it goes, you're out an engine. It's gonna bend valves. So let's go do this. The first things first, this is the passenger side wheel well. You want to make sure that you can get this crank bolt undone, because these Honda engines, they can be pretty difficult to get that bolt loose sometimes. So before you do anything, I recommend first thing you do is get to that crank bolt and make sure that you can get it off. I have a special socket. I'll show it to you in a minute here. Made for this, just for these, because these can be very difficult. I've never had a problem once I have that socket, but I have seen where sometimes they just do not come apart. Set that cover aside. Hopefully you can see what I'm looking at. So that's what I'm going to get. I believe this is 19, should be 19. So I'm going to show you the socket. Real big, thick, a lot more mass. It's not hollowed out all the way through, just enough to put it on there. You wouldn't think that makes a huge difference. That makes a huge difference. Force equals mass times acceleration. So the more mass you have, the more force you have. And a regular socket usually will not take these off. Make sure my gun's turned up. Let's see if we can get this loose. Hopefully we can. There it goes. That pops it right off of there. I could have shown you with a regular socket. Usually will not take these off. So let's go back up top. We'll start tearing apart the top, and then we'll come back and take this balancer off when we need to. Just going to get a couple things out of the way. I'm going to take the air box off, get it out of our way. Electrical connector. I'll do that and find it. Get that out of the way. Now we'll get at that motor mount, which we're going to need to get to a little bit later. I am going to drain this. Petcock's on this side. I'm going to go underneath, start draining this out, and let it drain coolant out. We are doing a water pump with this timing belt. I don't ever do timing belts without water pumps. If you're in there, you're just asking for trouble not doing the water pump. Buy the kit. Comes with the belt, the water pump, all the pulleys. Don't try to save a few bucks. Buy something good. I use Acen. I don't know how you say it, but I'll show it to you in a little bit. And do everything, because you got to get in here, and it's a critical component. You know, if something goes wrong in there, say goodbye to your engine. Let me go start draining this, and then I'll be back. I did disconnect the battery. I'm going to take the PCM out just to get it out of my way. So I wanted to disconnect the battery. I don't like messing with them when the battery's connected. Always a good idea to disconnect them. I didn't get too much antifreeze on the floor. It's still draining, but I got most of it in the pan. So I don't know what that's to. No idea what that's to. Just hanging out. Oh. That's to my airbox. That's what that's to. I'll take that and just this full of dielectric grease. I'll clean it up. Don't do that. That's not good. You don't need to do that. I'm going to take this bracket. You don't have to. I'm going to take it just to get it out of my way. I think it's just two 10 millimeters here that I can get off and get that out of my way. Can't part. All right, I'll just put that aside. I'm just going to peel these wire harnesses up over here, out of my way, out of harm's way here. Got a harness that runs down, probably to the crank sensor. That's my guess, but they're pretty much out of my way. Let me get some more light in here for you if I can. If I can find my flashlight. There it is. So, let me see what you can see. So you can see these top two plastic covers here, here, and here. I'm just going to take them off. I'm here. You know how to take them off right now. You can take them off later, but I might as well take them off. I'm going to peel these. There's a couple of wiring harnesses and, as usual, Christmas trees. Can't find my other 10. I got about 50 of them, but I can't find it right now. I was in the junkyard yesterday doing something. I think it's in my pocket of my pants upstairs. Regardless. That one I can't get off. It's blocked in by the motor mount. I'll get all the ones that I can. One in the middle here. Okay. There's light down here. I believe that's it for this cover. I think that'll come right off. I don't think I missed any here. No, I didn't. If you have a gasket as well, bring that gasket with it. We'll reuse that. No need to put another one in there unless it's damaged. This one's not. Okay. Let me go. You go underneath. I'm going to put a block of wood on a jack to hold the engine because I'm going to have to take this motor mount off. We want it to stay up where it is. Let's do the serpentine belt next. I guess that would make the most sense. It is 14. I'm going to pry that back. Take my serpentine belt off. Set that aside. Good. Belt's out of my way. Let me get a block of wood and a jack underneath that engine. Got the engine blocked up with a block of wood under the jack, on the floor jack. Had to unbolt this motor mount. 18 millimeter for these two, 15 for in here. Make sure I'm going the right way. Which I am. Get it loosened up. This will have to come out later, but for now we're done. Don't know if this has to come out or not. We're going to undo it in case it does, since it's only plastic. And I can get my last bolt here on this front cover. Cover off of here. Look at that, just rotting away here. Yeah, look at that. Somebody Somebody hammered this thing, I guess. Wasn't me, but I think maybe we'll try to fix that before we put that back on. Just set that up out of the way and lose anything. Let's go, let me go down. I'm going to pull the crank pulley, get my belt, my serpentine. Let me fish my serpentine belt out just to get it out of my way, so I don't drop it in and get it all messed up, because we are going to have some water coming out of this when we pull the pump. We'll just set that out of there. I like to keep these the same way. Don't spin them around or anything when you put them back, because they will squeak sometimes. So I'll just lay that just like that. Loosen this early. Just going to take this off for now. Set it aside. This should just wiggle off of here. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain, but hopefully this won't be too bad. Yeah, it's coming right off. That's good. So there we go. There's a slinger in here. See it? You got to pull that too. I want to get that so I don't forget it. Okay. Alright, now I can get these two bolts here, just the bottom cover bolts. We're going to undo them. There's a bunch of them. And we'll go back up top and do that. I should just quit talking about it and just do it. Quicker to do it than talk about it. Alright, just a couple in here, not a lot. Okay, let's see if I can see any other ones. Yeah, I can. Well, that's what you got to be careful of. Don't jam your tool in there so you get stuck. Almost did it. Almost. But I didn't. I can't get to that one. I'll have to do that one. Let me go back up top. Let me undo the other bolts. Okay, you couldn't see it, but I just removed the rest of the bolts. Got them undone. I gotta go up. Cover's loose. I'm just going to take it out through the top. Let me back you up some. There's the cover right there. Bottom cover. Set that aside. Now, I'm going to take the rest of this motor mount off. I believe it can come off now. Get it out of our way. 15 millimeter. These bolt through the water pump if I remember correctly. I think they do. Oh, I can't get that one on there. There's another bolt right here. Just not thinking. At least I didn't smash on it and break it. That's why you don't beat on stuff hard, because you miss a bolt and then you just end up breaking things. Oh, that's why it wouldn't come off. Now it's going to come right off of there. Alright, that's a little better. Put my bolts back in here when they came out. I'll hunt them down later. That looks good. We've got to time this engine. We've got to put it in time. There's marks. I'll mark them out here. And there's marks, and I'll show you this after I get it in time. I'm going to turn this engine, looking at it this way, clockwise only, not counterclockwise, clockwise. I'm going to line this up in time marks, and I'll show you once I get it lined up. You stick the bolt back in to the crank temporarily. We'll have something to turn on, and we'll time it. Let me see if I can show you this. My paint pen kind of exploded a little bit on me on the one, but there's the front towards the radiator. You'll see there's a line in here. I'll try to show this to you. But there's a 1. Oh, come on, focus. Focus for me. There's a 1 at the top of that and a line. And then on the one tooth there, Let's see if I can get this to focus. I don't know that it will. Oh, come on. That's not helping. There is that one that's white. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a one that I marked with paint. It has a little line on it. Let me put my flashlight somewhere. So there's a line right there on that one tooth. That's got to line up with that mark in the cover. Right there, there's a line in the cover. The back just has a line up here. Turn my, let me get a better light. Okay. So there's a line right here on the sprocket, and then there's a line in the cover. Those have to line up. Now, when they're lined up, look down here. Let me take you down here. At the top, there's a little arrow. I don't know if this will focus on that tooth, indented, and I marked it with paint. And then up on the cover, you see that line, that kind of casting where it's a straight up and down. It's like, it's just about 12 o'clock. They have to be lined up. If they're lined up and the top two cams are not lined up and it marks your 180 out, you have to go around 2 more times. But that's lined up with the line and the casting of the timing cover, or front of the block, I should say. Hard to show. That mark is lined up, and that mark is lined up. So now we can take this belt off. It's in time. Let's just pull. I'm going to pull that one first, probably. Okay. Just set that aside. We'll be replacing that, but now I can get my belt off. So now I can just undo my belt carefully. You see this cover, you see these tad little things here that stick out? They help to keep the belt on the pulley so it doesn't have a tendency to flop. It makes it, it's nice when you're putting it on because it kind of holds it in place for you. Once you get it on there. There we go. Slide off the crank at the bottom. I believe this is an original belt because I know this hasn't been done. And let me get the rest of this apart. Tensioner. And then we'll do the water pump, which will make a mess, of course, all over the place. And I've got my engine blocked up right underneath it, so I can't put a pan in there, but that's okay. Okay, there's a sleeve. It goes like this. There's a sleeve on the inside of this. It goes on the inside. A lot of times kit, I don't know if this one comes with it or not, the sleeve. If the kit doesn't come, the new tensioner doesn't come with this, make sure you transfer the sleeve to the new one. Just stick that bolt with it. We're going to unbolt our tensioner down here now. This is the hydraulic tensioner. It tensions this basically against this. You can see where that end of it rides right there, and tensions the belt. So we're going to take that out too, and we're going to replace that. Let me find the right size here. This is the one that might be 9. They don't have a lot of torque to them. So when you put them back in, don't go nuts because you'll just snap them off. There's not much to them. Here's the other end of the tensioner. Okay. Great. Now let's put some stuff back. Ah, yeah, we're going to do the water pump. That's right. let's not forget that. This is probably going to make a mess, but that's how it goes. Okay, new pump. Goes like this. So these are the 3 bolts that we took out with that half of that motor mount. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smaller bolts, 10 millimeter heads on them. They're probably 8 millimeter bolts. We're going to take them out. I think I cracked them all loose, didn't I? I didn't get one of them. And as usual, as I said, right in front of me. Right in front of me, I still can't see it. Okay, it's loose. Careful doing this, it's aluminum. You do not want to break things. Just going to see if I can. That's starting to leak. It's starting to dribble out, so it's getting loose. It's coming. It's just giving me a little grief. Just be careful with it. There it goes. Yeah, made a mess. Now I've got this cleaned up pretty good. Not pretty good, really good. I'm going to put the new water pump in with the 5 small bolts. I got to go look at the torque spec. I'm just going to snug them up. They don't take much. They're not much at all, so I'm just going to put it in place. Make sure your gasket's in there. This one has it already on there, so we're going to slide this in place. Should we have everything lined up? Which we do, and we'll get the bolts in place here. Okay, just hand tighten them. I will tighten them. I will torque them. I got to go look the torque spec up. There's probably a lot of this you can't see, but water pump bolts, 9 foot-pounds basically. The small ones, so 108 inch-pounds. Okay. Alright, look, Pulley. This guy right here. Koyo. I guess I say it. Koyo. I don't know. It comes with the kit. Make sure it matches, which it does. Find the right place for it. 31 foot-pounds. This one's the one that had a little bit of sealer on there. So I'm going to put some sealant on that. For 31 foot-pounds. Good. How about that? How about we do that? Started there. Started. Just snugging them up, not torquing them with this. Don't flip out. say 9, right? 9 foot-pounds, not much. That's what it said. Not much. Okay. All right, let's put this back in place. Tensioner pulley. Now, remember I said you need that sleeve from the old one. Right? Take it out. There's the sleeve right here. Goes like this. Like that. Matches. Take the sleeve out of the old one. Put it in the new one. Bolt in. Let's get it lined up here. Don't have it tensioned yet. I don't want it tensioned yet. I get this belt on. This belt's pretty tight without even being tensioned, so I think this one's 19, if I remember correctly. Okay, camera's off. I torqued my tensioner pulley, 19 foot-pounds. I've got my belt started around my crank. I'm doing this the front side towards the radiator first. I want to keep that tight as I put it on. I've got it around my crankshaft, pull my sprocket. It's around the idler. I've got it around the front cam. Got it tight. I believe I have it tight. Go down to the water pump here. Slide it on there. And I got to go around this guy. This is tight. These are tight. Pretty. So I want to keep this tight. I may have to turn this slightly. I don't think so though. Sometimes you got to tweak this one a little bit to get it to line up. Got my belt on. I did not have to loosen any pulleys or anything. You get it, what I find is if you get it right, when you get it tensioned right, pay particular attention to the front when you're putting it on that you don't have any slop. And when you get it tensioned right, you can get everything in. There's no tension. I don't have the tensioner released yet on this. Trying to decide whether I want to release the tension on this. I think I do. I'm afraid if I don't, it'll move on me. But I think I'm going to pull the pin, release the tensioner. I'm just checking my marks one last time. Everybody looks good right now. And then I can turn it. I'm going to turn it crank 2 times, check the marks, then I'm going to do it again and another 2 turns, check the marks again to make sure they're where they should be. You want to do that to ensure that you're not off a tooth and you're not out of time. Right now, everything looks good. Let me pull this pin. Try to pull this pin. Let me see if I can pull the pin. Oh, cow. There it goes. Give it a second. It's a hydraulic tensioner. It is tensioned it. It's tight now. Alright, let me check my marks. Yes, good, good. Bottom is good. Let me put the crankshaft bolt back in and we will turn this over. Twice, check it, and twice more again, check it again. Clockwise, remember clockwise. Two times the crankshaft. Compression. Just checking all my stuff here. There's one. Let's go again. You will get some compression pushing back at you. Just go slow and it'll dissipate a little bit as you go. Coming up on number 2 now, second time around. That's straight up. That mark crank is where it should be. That mark's where it should be. And that mark is lined up. We're in time. I'm going to do it once more. I like to do it twice just to be sure. Okay. Good. What's next? What's next? Lower cover. I believe lower cover will be next. This guy right here. Trying to make sure I don't forget anything. Otherwise I get to do it twice. Won't be the first time, probably not the last time, but try not to make the same mistakes. Slide this back in. Line everybody up. Line up here. I know you can't see, but I'm just sliding the cover back on. There's not a lot to see. You just got to get it lined up. It'll go on. Okay, bottom cover is snugged up and on. Let's get the tops on. Yeah, it's the front. It's the one that's broken. I'm going to have to fix that for now. I'm just going to put it on there. I'll leave it loose, but I'm going to have to take this vehicle back and fix that. That's interesting. Somebody tightening this up, cranked on, and I don't know. Or it's just fatigue from being old. Could just be fatigue from being old. But we'll let it go for now, and then we'll fix it when we're done. Yes, I will fix it. We'll be flipping out in the comments. Ah, you never fixed it. Yeah, I will fix it. I will fix it because I don't want to deal with it. I'm gonna just let me pull this back off to show you. I'm just keep forgetting to turn the camera on. So I put my dust shield here back in place. I'm gonna slide the harmonic balancer back in. Line the keyway up. Slide that in. Got my bolt here. I have a special tool. Kind of need it for this, I think. Hopefully it'll work for this. I mean, it's the right size, but kind of goes in there like that. There's a hex inside, you can see. And then you have to hold that while you tighten the bolt to 181 foot-pounds. It's fun. I'm telling you, it's fun. Keep it straight up and down as much as I can. I'm close. That's 181. I had to really lean on that. But it is in there. Check it one more time. There you go. 181. Sometimes you gotta have tools. That's one for this job. You might be able to get this as a loaner from an auto parts store. It's very possible. But you definitely have to have that for this job. Alright, let's get the serpentine belt back on and let's get this thing finished up. Okay, belt's on. Motor mount. Make sure my wiring harness is not, nope, it's out of my way. Probably can put my PCM back together here first. Be a little easier to get to it while I'm in here, before I got this mounting here. So, let's not put the PCM back in yet. Let's put the mount in, since it's going to decide to be in my way a little bit. So, well, I'm surprised that's right on the money. I don't have to move that at all. Usually you got to move it a little bit. Jack it up with that. That's right on. Huh? Well, that's something. Push this out of the way. It's plastic, it'll move. There it goes. Okay. Any no maintenance, you gotta mess with the floor jack to get them in the right place, but this is right on the money. Sometimes you get lucky. Alright, let me go clean everything up. Put this air box back in, put everything back in place. My ECM, get some coolant, fill it with coolant, and we'll start it up and see how it does. Okay. Everything's back together. The PCM hooked back up, batteries hooked back up, airbox inlet tubes hooked back up. It's got coolant in it. We're going to start it. We're going to let it bleed out, the coolant bleed out of it, because I'm sure there's air in it right now, and see how it does. Sure it bleeds the cooling system out, but that's it pretty much. It's not that hard a job. It's just something you can't screw it up. You screw it up and you do it, you're off a couple teeth and you're going to bend valves in the engine. So just make sure you check yourself, but it's not really that hard of a job. It's not too bad. Ison is the original OEM. For this, I looked at the water pump that came on. It says Honda Ison underneath of it. I thought they were. I like their kits. I haven't had any problems with their kits. I'm not a fan of some of the other aftermarket ones, but they seem to do a pretty good job. You need to do this for your Saturn Vue. This is 2008. Also, it's basically the same for a Honda 3.5 engine. I hope it helps you out. If you like the videos, click the like and subscribe below. Thanks for watching.